Hey guys, have you ever been through a situation where you plan too many things and you become overwhelmed? If so, today we're going to be talking about analysis paralysis. So stay tuned and hopefully you guys enjoy the podcast today. Hey guys, welcome to Bump. I'm your host Shamir.
And I'm the Bill.
Welcome guys.
Welcome to another episode.
Thank you guys for tuning in. On all the social media platforms, on tuning in on all the podcast platforms as well. Thank you for the support, the love.
No doubt.
As the intro said, we're talking about analysis paralysis today.
Ooh-wee.
Bill.
Shamir.
What have you been through in life that has held you back from maybe accomplishing a goal or something that you overthink something and then you just it stops you from doing what you want to do? You ever been through something like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think when we tend to overplan, a lot, that definitely, I guess for a better lack of a term, paralyzes me, because then it's like it's just overwhelming. Now I really just don't even want to do it. Or if I didn't accomplish it the way I had originally planned, then now I'm just upset about it. I'm really just like, what the heck, really? Just all this time wasted, and I got maybe 2 things accomplished. So yeah, I've definitely been in that boat many times, whether it's like just running errands, accomplishing things at work, not so much working on this podcast yet.
Right.
It's bound to happen, I'm sure. Yeah. But probably what I'm gonna wear,
Right.
I definitely do that a lot, and I try to work on it. But yeah.
Do you think it might be a lack of mental organization?
Yeah, sometimes. Or just, again, it's just simply overthinking. It's like, like I want to do so much at once, and I'm a planner, so
right.
I can't just, certain things anyway, I can't do without planning accordingly, because I want to be ready, because then I tend to forget something if I don't plan ahead.
Right.
Something as simple as like, oh, I got to make sure that I write in the calendar, I got this to do, this to do, this to do. Something came up. Oh crap. Okay, well, gotta add this to the calendar too.
Right.
One of the most interesting things is, like, for example, I don't know if you've read it or heard of it in interviews and stuff like that, but Mark Zuckerberg, the man pretty much wears the same thing all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's literally just him not wasting brain power on what he's gonna wear. And to me, that's just incredible. I think I don't think the same way necessarily, because if I'm running a business, I don't know if I'd be wearing a t-shirt and jeans and some Converse all the time. Right. You know what I mean? Another person that I had read about who does the exact same thing was President Obama. Right. President Obama did the exact same thing. He would wear the same suit. That way he's not wasting brain power first thing in the morning on what he's going to wear.
Wasting good decisions.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because there's only a certain amount of good decisions you can make in a day that's supposedly scientifically proven.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Because brain power is just tiring, just like physical energy. Like, it's just,
of course,
it's super tiring. But have you gone through those experiences yourself?
Yes, definitely. Man, a lot of things sometimes.
Actually, can we break down what it is real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And in every episode, we kind of try and talk
you guys
about,
are
like,
grasping the concept as that.
Yeah. So again, our friend Google, you guys can Google it, but if you're too lazy to do it, or you're too busy to do it, we got it.
Yeah, exactly.
We got y'all covered. Okay, analysis paralysis, right? It's a phrase used to describe the feeling of being unable to make a decision due to overthinking a problem. This often happens when you're dealing with too many variables and continually researching solutions instead of taking action and making a decision.
I love that, because when we just recently started this podcast, but believe it or not, we've been planning this podcast for maybe a year, honestly, and in between, just building it all together to what it is today. And what it'll be tomorrow. Honestly, we've you know, I would say personally I went through analysis paralysis because Nabil and I were very much perfectionists, dude, and you know, that just causes this situation sometimes to make us not do anything. And it's not that we're not doing anything and we're not, you know, we're not running in the same place, but it's more like you keep trying to perfect your craft that you don't have, you know, you don't release content because you want to add this effect or you want to add whatever it may be onto the videos or to the, you know, to just the editing process in general.
You always want to tweak it a bit and make it look better, and sometimes it's just like, bro, you're wasting time.
Camera angles, lighting, all these things that just come into it, you know, buying new equipment, you know. So it just got to the point where we're just like, you know what, we're going to do the Nike slogan. We're just going to do it, you know.
Just do it.
That's why I love the Nike slogan, because it literally just cuts off analysis paralysis. It's like, bro, like, just do it and see what happens. Exactly. And just tweak as you go, you know, just keep, you know, working and getting better as you go, instead of trying to perfect something that you haven't even started to actually build when it comes to at least social media and all that stuff. I was reading an article of Stanford University, and it said a few things about analysis paralysis. Like, for example, overthinking lowers your performance on mentally demanding tasks. Yes. Analysis paralysis kills your creativity. Overthinking eats up your willpower, and it also makes you less happy, which we will be releasing a podcast soon on happiness. That's going to be a good one, honestly, to talk about. But these things, they did a study on, they would give a tablet to the students, and then they would use they were using electrical brain waves to kind of measure how people would react to analysis paralysis. They also link it to ADHD and anxiety and all these things. So there's different ways to view this. The reason why we wanted to do this podcast today was to motivate people to understand that anybody could do anything they want to, as long as they determine themselves to you know,
to simply just do it.
Exactly. To focus and just build one day at a time. Again, this is exactly why this logo is what it is. Our logo is literally, almost every podcast we do is just literally that one step at a time concept to.
So this right here is the perfect visual description of the opposite of analysis paralysis, right? So one step at a time. So you're not overthinking it, which means you're not wasting brain power. You're not going to get tired in that sense, because you're doing it one step at a time.
Exactly.
I mean, that's great.
And, you know, a few experiences I've been through other than the podcast was actually, you know, like, for example, going to college, you know, sometimes I would doubt myself of like, am I even smart enough? Am I even capable of doing these goals that, you know, lead to the American dream? Can we even make this happen? Can I focus enough? And, you know, just all these I wouldn't say negative thoughts, but it's more like questions that you ask your inner self to see if you even are capable of succeeding. And I believe that we just got to stop thinking so much, overthinking, and just start doing.
And I think too, when you're starting to do it, whatever it is, plan like what's really most important to you in order to be able to get it done, rather than planning the little things. Part of what he was, part of the article that he was reading from Stanford University, I had read it too, and they were saying how, like, you know, don't use your brain power for the mundane stuff, like, what am I going to make for breakfast? You know, how long is traffic going to be? Little stuff. It's just kind of like, don't worry about it, because it's way too much. You're already overwhelming yourself. And then it's just kind of like, you're already ruining your day, because then now you might just have a negative attitude towards wherever your destination is.
That's something that I've talked to my lady about sometimes, which she'll write me in the morning about like traffic or stuff like that. I'll just be like, hey, you know, don't worry about so much those little negative things that lead you to like overthink about the outcome of the day.
Yeah. And it's easy to get into that too.
Oh yeah, of course. And again, it goes right back to also your thought process. I think that, you know, part of fixing, you know, that anxiety portion of analysis paralysis is to, you know, calculate the things in your brain that make the most sense. You know, I always say journal. Journal is one thing that, you know, write things down, but also, you know, you have to start to slowly correct your mind and retract yourself from thinking certain things throughout the day, as Nabil was saying, and focus more on the important big picture of the day. You know, remember, whatever you think of your day, the perspective you have in your mind, that's what your day is going to be. And you don't want to start your morning off, you know, in the same place you were yesterday. You want to make every day, you want to execute every day, you know, more healthier mentally and physically. You want to start your day off with, you know, a positive footstep, because remember, also, you know, we've explained in previous podcasts as well that, you know, our surroundings matter, but remember, we are also the surroundings. So like, for example, people will pay attention to what you do, you know, and sometimes, believe it or not, whether they say it to you or not, you influence people as well. You know, your coworkers and whatnot. And sometimes people see one or good positive things that you're doing, or even negative, and maybe they incorporate it in their lives because they don't have the willpower to think on their own and be like, you know, these are the actions I should do and should not do. And you should hold yourself accountable when it comes to those things, and notice that, hey, you know, maybe what the positive things I do might rub off on another person, you know, and
vice versa, the negative stuff too. You know, a coworker today, here's a quick little story for y'all, just to give you guys perspective on when people notice when you do good things and when people notice you do negative things.
Right.
I sort of got a little negative one today, right? But it was from like a year ago.
Okay.
His coworker comes up to me today, lovely lady, and she's like, you know something, Nabil? Yeah. She's like, I'll be honest, when you first got here, I was afraid to talk to you. And I was like, but why? And she's like, because you had like a mean face going on and stuff like that. I'm like, me? That's the first time. I think it's the first time in my life I've ever been told that. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that you saw me like that. I almost wanted to say your name, but I want to keep it private. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that you saw me like that.
Oh man.
And she was like, yeah, you just, you know, you had this serious face. You looked angry all the time. And so like, I wanted to say hi to you, but I was afraid to. I just didn't want to. And some people have judged me by my face and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, I'm just usually in my thoughts or whatnot. So I don't really, you know, pay any attention to like what my facial expression is, because I'm just focused on the work. And I'm like, well, I'll be honest, in my case, it was just like, I don't like being here, you know, at the specific job, especially when I started where I'm at now. I don't like being here. The environment itself is very hostile, very toxic. Tons of people work there.
Yeah.
And I'm used to like places where there was way less people around me than there is in this place.
Of course.
And a lot of their negativity and all that stuff would just rub onto me really quickly. And I would just let it consume me really. Right. And I was just like, oh man, that's just, you know, I really did apologize, because I try to, you know, always be nice and respectful and loving to people, because I do love people. And, you know, the last thing I want to be is darkness in a world where it's already full of darkness as it is.
Yeah, definitely.
And so my point with all this is that because I was so negative, I was letting a lot of good things not happen and pass me by, because I was just focused on all the negativity, and I didn't care about nobody or nothing. I didn't want anybody to really talk to me, right. You know, because of like these defense walls were up. So I went ahead and apologized to her, and I was just like, I'm so sorry. She's like, no, I love you now, Nabil. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, honey. You're really good. You're very sweet, and you're very kind to me, and I like that. I was like, well, thank you. You just made my day.
There you go. And it's just those things, it's a simple thing as maybe a facial expression or
a smile,
just a movement or hello, whatever it may be, can change the perspective of anything and everything around you. So when we go back to thinking about these things, let's not paralyze ourselves.
I think what people need to do is build strong habits.
Yes. Very much so.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but it just kind of came to my mind.
And you know what? Before I continue what I'm saying, I was looking at the other day. The bill for Christmas gifted me a Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. A Kobe Bryant
it was
portrait. It's 3D, so however you look at it, you could see different like pictures of Kobe and stuff.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant had 10 rules. For those people that know the 10 rules, shout out to y'all. Thank you for paying attention to Kobe. That's definitely an icon to look up to when it comes to positive habits, positive mindset, determination. Anything that's positive, this guy has for the most part. There's a lot of things that maybe he had negative in his own personal life. Again, we're not perfect. We say this all the time. But I'm gonna share these 10 rules. I'm gonna write them down on the bottom there so you guys could have them if you haven't seen them ever. The 10 rules. The first one is get better every single day. Number 2, prove them wrong. Number 3, work on your weaknesses. Number 4, execute what you practice. Number 5, learn from greatness. Number 6, learn from wins and losses.
Ooh, that's an important one.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Number 7, practice mindfulness. Number 8, be ambitious. Number 9, believe in your team. And number 10, learn storytelling. Okay.
Like the hero's journey. You ever heard of the hero's journey? Have you looked up on that?
What is that?
Oh, that's a topic. That's a topic then that we need to talk about here. I know. I'm sorry. I could dive deep into that, but that's going to be a topic that we'll talk about. The hero's journey.
Hero's journey.
Y'all remember that?
Alrighty.
Yeah, you can write it down on our stuff. Oh yeah, hero's journey.
What is that?
Well,
I mean, you mentioned it. That's why.
I guess I could sort of talk about it. It's essentially like what he just said in that last part. What was it that he said specifically in that last part?
Here we go.
Bear with us for
learn storytelling.
Learn storytelling. It made me think of the hero's journey, right? And it might differ from what he was trying to say with it. But this is just kind of my understanding of what I just got out of it. The hero's journey is your story and how it's being told, right? So how you're, growing from the lessons, the good and the bad, and how you get to where I think we're all destined to get to in our own lives with our gifts and the way we behave and all that other stuff.
Definitely.
It's a whole thing, but the hero's journey, man.
And if you notice, most of the 10 rules are mental rules that become into physical rules and
mental and emotional rules like that. I feel like all that, those 10 rules, I feel like we should have it tattooed on our chest or something like, or right here to see it every day, Oh man, be like, all right, what's rule number 5? Okay.
All right. Yeah. Yep. I got it. Check mark. Anyways, so, back to, the analysis paralysis portion, we have to create a mindset. We have to, in order to get out of these things, when we were talking about the podcast on depression and other, porn addiction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a mindset that we have to create in order to get to these, to succeed and to create these disciplines. And I have a few things that we could use, like structure your day.
Yeah.
Write things down, know what you're going to do in the day. Try not to reiterate the things that you already know that are like a habit or it's an everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? You already know you got to eat, you have to do these things. So make it happen automatically and, make it second nature where you don't have to, think, what do I do now? Or
it's those moments where it becomes overwhelmed, which then that's where analysis paralysis comes into place.
Exactly. And, you structure your day. Also,
you absolutely have to structure.
Don't try to tackle big decisions in the afternoon. Remember, at this point, you have, like Nabil was saying earlier about Mark Zuckerberg and other guys. They've already made decisions, all their good decisions throughout the day. In the afternoon, your brain is not.
You're not as fresh, full,
and your full potential as you were when you woke up. Also, another thing I was reading for my own personal life was I looked up on what's the natural time the human body should wake up, and obviously by nature, as soon as the sun rises, at whatever time frame you're at, so wherever part of the world
your time zone might be a little bit different.
Time zone's different, so I'm not gonna say, hey, 8 o'clock in the morning, because you imagine 8 o'clock over here is like freaking 11 in the afternoon somewhere else in the world.
I gotta wake up at 11.
Like, damn, like, geez, no, I'm not doing that. But whatever time zone is, wherever the sun rises, that's kind of the your get up and go mode.
Depending the time zone, depending like the time of year that the time zone's in.
Exactly.
We have that thing that changes. So it could be between, let's say 6 and 8. I would say.
There's another one that says, eliminate as many decisions as possible by turning them into habits that take little conscious thought to complete. That's exactly what I said earlier. So that's another one on there to list. Also, intentionally limit the amount of information you consume. For example, I always say this on the podcast, what you consume when it comes to social media, music, all this stuff. Don't feed into the bullcrap that these people that social media wants you to feed into. Another thing I've been practicing. This is a good one. This is a really good one. When I go into the restroom, when I go to take a shower, or in the morning when I go to the restroom break, I notice, and I'm gonna say it publicly because there's no problem saying it. I would literally wake up in the morning, I take my phone, and I sit down, and I'm Instagramming it on Facebook and on all social media, YouTube, all these things. I'm looking at the market early morning. Dude, I'm sitting on that toilet over 30 minutes.
Yeah, time flies by and you're like, oh.
I'm like, damn. And then sometimes I even have the water running so it could get like hot if it's really cold, because the temperature's been cold lately. Dude, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, like that shit is crazy. It's like, bro, like... It doesn't matter if you did your necessities or not. It's just outrageous to sit in the bathroom on the toilet for more than 20, 30 minutes. Like,
it's just a comforting thing. It's a religious thing. You're on there. You let all the demons out. And yes, part of it is you are wasting time scrolling, or if people are texting you, like somebody here blows up my phone every day like it's nobody's business. It's like he has a deaf brother or something that we don't know about. So he hit me up and we're texting back and forth or whatever. Then I got another buddy of mine from work who's constantly texting and sending my wife and I stuff in a little chat that we have. And all that other stuff, and then you notice, like you said, you wasted 30 minutes. You're wasting a crap ton of water.
You know, and you're just like, the water bill keeps on counting. You're over here. If you're trying to make money the way you make money, bro, like, or if you got to go to work, like, what the hell? You literally just wasted so much time. Whether if it's on, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally stopped. I'm going on like 2 weeks now, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you said you'd leave your phone somewhere.
I just leave it in the room. I'll leave it charging, and then like if I shower at night, I leave it charging or just wherever in the room. And you know what I did? I switched my phone with a book, whether if it's one of my classes that I got to read, some for like humanities class, for example. I'll bring the book in, or just whatever book I'm reading. And I switched it up, and I'm like, realistically, I just changed one thing for another instead of just dropping a habit completely.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Yep.
And that's what
you turned a bad habit into something much better, much wiser.
Yeah. And if I'm a sit on the toilet for 30 minutes, it's something more productive, something more
you're stipulating your mind in that case.
Right. I'm holding myself accountable of the things that I'm doing wrong. And that's the point of Bump. That's the point of life in general. You hold yourself accountable and notice the things you are doing wrong and fix them. This is going to be a lifelong process that will never stop. You will always have flaws, and you always try to work to get better. Because if you don't work to get better, guess what happens? The depression kicks in, the anxiety, the pessimism, excuse me, all the negative things that
dark thoughts.
Yeah, all those things. So I don't want to be the person to deteriorate myself anymore, or to be in any type of downfall that's not necessary. You know, I had a homeboy. I'm not going to mention his name, but his father passed away yesterday, and you know, those are situations that are different. That's natural life. You know, if something like that happens, I don't expect the dude to be happy and be like, you know what I'm saying, like, well, my father's resting now, and you know, he doesn't have Alzheimer's anymore, and we don't have to take care of him. You know, he's not going to be happy. So yes, there might be moments where you're sad, where you're down, where depression might kick in because of those tough circumstances. So I'm going to exempt those types of things, but things that are in your hands on a daily basis, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to paralyze myself thinking on negativity and just things that are not working in my favor. I'm a work on everything I can to make myself better on a daily basis.
No, and just think of it this way, right? Like, how long did we spend just kind of analyzing about doing this podcast, about moving forward with it, or just these little things? Because like, I'll speak for myself, like, I have things to constantly do. You know, I interned for a production company. You know, last year I was doing a lot of stuff with the production company. We were doing different shoots, and then I was also shooting short films. As an actor, like I was performing in them and whatnot. Yeah. And so this wasn't necessarily a priority, but it was just kind of overwhelming, because it's just kind of like, well, I got this to do and this to do, this to do. I'm also a married man. I better pay attention to my wife, or else, you know. Yeah. All that stuff, and that's what paralyzes us. We're going back again to the theme of today's topic. You know, we really have to try and find a way, and we're going to do this together, of trying to find new and healthier habits in order for us to avoid this specific, not necessarily avoid, but get over that hurdle that we have of just being paralyzed and not doing this. If we kept, you know, just contemplating it, and maybe it won't be good, maybe we wouldn't have gotten the equipment we currently have. The topics we're currently talking about, you know, and it's not like we've got the top of the top equipment, nor is it really necessary, but at least we're doing it. And you know, whether we get 10 views or whether we get 1 million views, we're going to do our best, and we're just going to do it, and, you know, hope to God that it comes out great and it impacts lives, whether it's few or a lot. And we're jumping over the hurdle of today's topic. And that's the goal for anything and everything that to achieve. You know, sometimes I know that I've come across people who have felt that, let's say, because of their weight, they're just like, I can't do this certain thing or whatever. Well, you can. You might just do it slower than someone who is fit. So don't worry about it. Just make sure you get it done as best as you can with your abilities. And don't worry about the rest. Just get it done, because then once you're done, you know, it's like when you write like a to-do list and you accomplish those 3 things you wrote down. You're gonna feel a sense of accomplishment.
You're gonna feel,
which then makes you feel really good. And when that happens, then you're gonna want to keep doing that again and again. It's kind of like a dopamine, honestly. Like it's the driving force that you need to keep moving forward. So stay focused on that. Like you said before, make a list, write down whatever tasks you have for the week or for the day. Try and do it day by day if possible. Don't overwhelm yourself with the week. The more you see that you have to do, the less you're going to want to do it to the T. And I say that from personal experience, and I know he can attest to that for his own personal self too. So just try and keep all that in mind. It's all about building better habits. Don't overthink. Just try and, I don't want to say think as less as possible, but just don't, you know, go in between those cracks, if you will.
It's like we said earlier, just concentrate on the things that are important, and the other things that just need to be habits, and just you do them by nature. You know, just set things apart. I also wanted a part of accountability. You know, I wanted you guys to understand setting a time constraint can force you to make decisions more efficiently. Another thing that, I mean, and that adds to what Nabil just said, you know, write things down and start accomplishing them. And as you check them off, you're going to have that sense of you know, that you did something right, that you made something happen. I want to add to, I know that maybe since the first episode to now, a lot of things that we say are maybe repetitive, but it's for a purpose. I want you guys to understand that not only are we holding ourselves accountable towards everything we say, but also we're holding you guys accountable. So every day that you see these podcasts come out on a weekly basis or whatnot, understand that we're repeating these things so it could get to the point where it ingrains into y'all's heads and be like, well,
where it becomes a second nature,
right? Where you're like, okay, now the what Nabil and Shamir are saying is, it's kicking into me because they say it so much. Yeah. It's like you sing a song it's so often because it's so good. It gets to a point that you already know the whole song by memory. It's the same thing. The more life is about repetition, the more you repeat it, the more it becomes, a habit. And that's the point of us repeating certain things in our podcasts and whatnot. So just understand that. Also, another way to help with analysis paralysis is know your main objective. Know what you're looking for in life, what you're looking to achieve. Also, let's see here. Get out your own head and talk it out with someone else. We say this all the time. If you are feeling depressed or you're feeling overwhelmed for some reason, talk to someone. If you need a therapist or you need professional help, go do so.
Go find it.
Find different places that you can go talk. There's I love it because I've been a few times to the club. It's called Toastmasters. It's really about learning how to speak in big audiences and even in small ones or things that, it helps for like maybe introverts to become extroverts and whatnot. But it's a positive club that maybe you can meet people that are just trying to talk, that are just trying, you know what I'm saying? You never know. Find something around town that suits your habits or your personality. And, start meeting people, get out of that'd
be great.
That zone that you might be in and, talk to someone, don't bottle things in because at the end of the day, bottling things up creates negative things. Point blank, period.
And you won't accomplish anything.
Yep. Another one is also approach problems with iterative mindset. Reiterate things in your mind constantly. Make it again, just repetition is what I'm trying to say. Try to repeat things in your brain and your mind to be able to focus on those things and make them happen. Also start before you really feel ready. Again, Nabil and I, we started the podcast. We were like, at this point, bro, let's just start recording. Let's start doing things and we'll work as we go.
Yeah.
We're not gonna keep sitting down trying to do things.
Try to overanalyze every little thing to make it as perfect as possible. It's just unrealistic for one.
This is why we made the podcast today, because we were done with it. We were we're just doing it. We're just working on it. And that's it.
Basically.
Yeah. So those are my main ways to kind of focus on getting out of analysis paralysis.
Do not stay paralyzed. It will bite you in the butt.
Yes. To all my stock exchange people, anybody that does the stock market and whatnot, it happens quite often there as well. If you're reading the charts and you get a bunch of indicators and everything is telling you one different thing.
Yeah.
I trade price action, so that might say a little bit more for those.
The candles are annoying.
For him, I love them, but they can be sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just,
what I'm saying.
Stressful.
I'm not saying it more for.
But there's so many different ways to talk about analysis paralysis. But today we kept it broad in regards to just our mindset in general.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys got something from this podcast today.
Well, and I want
go ahead
before you continue. Like, I want people. All of you guys watching this, whether you comment, if you can comment on our YouTube channel, even better. That's kind of what I prefer. It helps our algorithms more than anything. But I really want to see the kind of situations you guys go through.
Please, yes.
Every single time we release a new video or, on whatever platform you're listening to us, please leave a comment or message us or whatever it is you can do just to share the experiences you guys are going through, and make it a habit on a week-to-week basis to try and, create yourself some sort of a task where by the time the next episode comes out, you've accomplished something. Definitely. And you're proud of it. And you're like, all right, I did it, guys. Like, this is what I did. This is what I accomplished. Or I'm not there yet, but I am moving forward with this, and I'm not going to stop. And you guys are motivating me. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I want us to receive the accolades. I couldn't care less for that. What I care about is you guys accomplishing it, and just simply sharing it with your loved ones, with us, whoever it is, and just being like, I'm seeing a difference in my life. It's not the same exact thing that I've been living this entire time. Like, one thing that I've told my brother and I've told people closest to me, if you go to Puerto Rico, right, which we're Puerto Ricans, that's where our family's from and whatnot.
Saludos a la gente de Puerto Rico. Hello.
Yo.
We can speak Spanish, yes.
Yes, we can. Something that's just kind of, I'm trying to find the right word. I don't want to say upsetting, disappointing, I suppose, is, you grow up with people there and all that stuff. You grow up with each other for years, went to school together, You leave. You come back like 10 years later, and it's the exact same thing. Yeah. People are still living with their parents, their grandparents, whatever the heck it is. And it's nice because you're like, wow, I can still see this person. This is great. But on the flip side, it's like, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm just here. I'm just chilling. I'm on my balcony. And I'm like, so how's the job working? Well, I was at this restaurant. Didn't really work out. They fired me. Or I wasn't getting enough hours, so now I'm working on this spot. Okay. How much are you making? Oh, minimum wage, but, we're trying to do my best. Okay, but have you tried anything to... No, not really. I'm just, if one job doesn't work, I'll just go to another one. And it's like, dang, your bar is really down here. I'm not trying to knock anybody about it. It's just kind of like...
They just have no aspirations. They don't have their life in check and be like, well, what do I want out of life? And...
Yeah. And if you're content with it, okay, cool. Like, as long as you're happy and whatnot, all right, cool. Yeah. But I feel it in my heart and in my mind that we are meant for more.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. We are meant for so much more. We are meant to help one another out. Again, that's why we've reiterated a bajillion times that we're going to do it till the day we die. The people in your circle are super important.
Yes.
Because you'll either stay stagnant or you're going to make it somewhere to be able to impact other people throughout the world. And then the day you're no longer here, you've left a positive impact where now people are going to try and do their best to become better versions of themselves and not have to go through analysis paralysis as much as you did or as much as we had to.
Right.
Pave the way for people so that they can be set up for success, whether it is your friends, whether it's your children, your nephews and nieces, grandkids, whatever it is, man. Like, try to make it a little easier than it was for you. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And you will feel a sense of accomplishment. You'll be so proud that you listened to us, or you read a specific book or an article online, or the Bible or whatever, like just try to do better. And that's what we want to see in the comments section. We really want to see you guys progress, and knowing that even if we just helped one person, it's like, all right,
that's great.
We helped one person. That's great. And then in turn, you guys are helping us. We definitely want to change and grow and be better. He's a father right now. I'm an uncle. At some point, I'll be a father too. I want to be able to instruct my nephew and my future kids to, strive for greatness, strive for what your purpose is on this earth, and be able to be of service, not served, but of service to other people.
Yeah.
And just, man, make things better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's too much to ask for. I just want to see more people happy rather than depressed or, angry and bitter.
Tina, Bill's not asking to change the world. He just wants to make it a better place.
Ooh, wow.
So...
Put that on a t-shirt.
That's the second t-shirt idea you give me already on the show. So we're gonna make t-shirts. We're gonna make some t-shirts. And
if you guys are interested in merch, coffee mugs, Stanley cups are expensive, man. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you girls. our ladies, who absolutely love that stuff. Yeah. But, you know, any kind of merch recommendations you guys might have to be able to put this beautiful logo on and you guys to rep it proudly. Not so much, again, to like, oh, look at us. No, but just something that you are proud of that's helping you move forward in life one step at a time.
Yeah.
We got to rep them too, man. I want.
Yeah. We got some t-shirts on the way already. I already got you know, because we already got this copyrighted and whatnot, we're trying to.
So don't steal our logo, dogs.
I mean, you know, good luck, you know. But
I'll sue you.
We're not gonna be violent and say those kind of things, you know. But you know, just kidding. Let's keep everything at a peaceful manner always. You know,
yeah.
We treat you guys with the utmost respect. Wherever you see us, you know, we're gonna always be that people. So let's keep it at that tone always, and everything will be just fine. And that's where we're at. Do you have any last things or any motivation?
Any other topics and recommendations you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Can recommend to us. We're all ears. We definitely need the ideas. I'm trying to think what else. Again, just get into those habits. Don't overthink about what you're gonna wear the next day, ladies. Don't overthink about how your makeup's gonna look. You're beautiful just the way you are, and if you have an amazing personality, I guarantee you are more beautiful that way. Guys, you too. You guys are spiffy looking, you know? Just have a really good attitude and make sure that the people around you see that by your actions, by the way you express yourself, by the way you handle a specific topic or conversation. You know, don't lash out. Don't say certain words that you might regret later on. Right. Because then it's kind of hard for people to kind of erase that out of their brains, especially if they're not the forgiving type. So just kind of keep that in mind.
I got a saying before we leave.
Go ahead, say the saying.
It's from a wise woman. It says, a man is great not because he hasn't failed. A man is great because failure hasn't stopped him.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that. So failure shouldn't stop any single one of us.
Nope. Analysis paralysis shouldn't stop us.
Peace out, analysis paralysis.
You know, out the window.
Bye-bye now.
Gone. See you later. So, just understand, hopefully this was a good saying for today.
Yeah.
You guys enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all.
We really do. We really do appreciate you guys. When anything we say in appreciation or that it's towards you guys, we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. Yeah. We aren't on the let's just talk about this just to say something. We're not that people on social media. When we make a podcast, when we do something, we literally think it out. We try to perfect the craft without analysis paralysis anymore, but we try to do things that is efficient and great content for you guys to consume.
Yeah, always.
So just have that in mind. Thank you guys again. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow us on our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook.
And the Ringle Dingle Dingle.
Don't forget the Ringle Dingle Dingle.
So you guys know what time it is.
Jingle jingle.
When we upload, you guys already go straight to YouTube or whatever platform. And you start listening to us, you know, because we don't want to talk to a void or a wall. We want to talk to you guys.
Hey, man. I mean, if we reach aliens, then cool. We reach the aliens.
Yeah, hopefully.
And hopefully they receive it in a good way.
I don't know if they talk like that, but, you know. Hopefully they understand what we say. But thank you guys again. Thank you for watching Bump. It'll be until next time. Take care and peace.
Have a good week.